Hello friends, myself Shriram Korde. So we have seen basically how do you print the 2D array, and we also have seen the memory mapping, and that is a very interesting thing, and I have told you how basically the memory looks flat or linear when it comes to 2D array. Now comes how do I provide input to the 2D array. Why? Because here we have initialized it and then we used it. Before that we actually gave each and every element by hand. So obviously this is not the correct approach. This is okay. Many times people will do as part of initialization. However, now if I want to give the input using keyboard, then how should I go about it? So obviously the answer is we can use scanf. Okay, so let's do that now. So here I will have for loop and then I can write a loop, and before that I will simply declare the array. Okay, and when I am now declaring the array, let me just declare the array now. So when I am declaring the array, obviously I need to give the dimension here. So essentially it's a 4 cross 3 matrix or 4 cross 3 array. Okay, now we can basically just write the loop. So for I is equal to 0, essentially is the same loop. Okay, whatever the loop here we have, so it's the same loop that we can simply cut and paste. Simply cut and paste. Now you can say this is the outer loop which is for the rows, and the inner loop is basically for the columns. Okay, instead of printf, now what we now need to do is we need to do scanf. Here we just need to do scanf and we need to remove all these unnecessary things and just make it ampersand. Okay, so now if I just do the ampersand, that is good enough. Before that I basically will require a printf, and which will say enter a value. Why? Because we would like to give a value, and then basically we would like to populate this ARR, which is essentially 4 cross 3 matrix, and then that's it. So you don't require anything more than this. So this is the first loop. So this loop essentially is where we are taking input from user, that is keyboard. So we'll give the input from keyboard, and here we are whatever the thing, after that the array will get populated with the input that user gives, and then you can just show it. So let's now run this code. So here we need to ensure that we give the curly bracket, and that's it. So now we can run the code. So it will say enter a value. Let's say that I will enter 100, then I will 100 say 150, then I will enter say 200, then 250, say 400, 300, then say 350, then 400, 450. So we have just done it. Now I will enter some random. Okay, you can see this. So I have entered the matrix 100, that is essentially it's a 4 rows. So you can see this is 0th row, this is first, this is second, and this is third, and then essentially we have 3 columns. Okay, so you basically have given the input as per the user liking, and here we very nicely told okay, enter a value, and then we kept on entering the value, and then essentially we printed it. So that's the way typically you can work with these things with respect to the 2D array. Some people can use some more things like during initialization, like the way in which here we have done with respect to this. So some people can use curly brackets again inside So that's okay. These are all some of the minor things as part of initialization. Some people will do that. Okay. So that's it with respect to this 2D array. When we are how can I use it to initialize it from the user input. Okay. Thank you.